Hello, y'all. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. It's your bestie, Tiwi. It's so gloomy outside. We are in fall. Fall is here in full force. Ireland is typically gloomy and rainy. That's the vibe over here most of the time. But during the summer, it gets pretty warm and sunny. I actually don't hate this vibe. I think it's very cozy. It just makes you want to curl up in a corner with a cup of tea and a book and just relax. Or if you have a partner, it makes you want to just snuggle with them. So cozy. This is my second attempt of filming this. I was editing the first video and I got annoyed by how many times I said the word like. So, in order to train myself to say the word like less, I decided to scrap that video and just refilm. So here we are. Maybe I'll show you how gloomy it looks outside. It's so nice and gloomy and gray. People tend to complain a lot about this weather, but I personally love it. It's just so cozy. Back to bed. So, I want to talk about being tired of celebrity culture, having celebrity fatigue. I feel like I'm at that stage now. I skipped out on the Playboy Cardi and The Weeknd concerts because I just wasn't excited to go. Which is wild because growing up I was a huge Playboy Cardi fan. I was also a The Weeknd fan. And when I heard that the concert was happening, my first thought was I'm obviously going to try to go. I was even looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to this for months, right? So the fact that I changed my mind last minute is so interesting. And I think it just reflects how I'm currently feeling about celebrities. With Playboy Cardi, if you've been following him, you know that every year he is found allegedly assaulting someone. It's actually overkill at this point. I don't know why I've watched multiple police body cam footage of him just being found assaulting someone allegedly. It's not a good look. So you have that, and when you see things like that, you start thinking about separating the artist from the art, which I don't think that's possible. I think how the artist behaves affects how the art is seen ultimately. At least that's what I've experienced. So seeing him in that light has obviously rubbed me the wrong way, and it's made me not want to support him. And I was also looking up his recent appearances and performances, and I just wasn't excited. In the case of The Weeknd, same thing. I wasn't really excited by his appearances or performances. It's just the star factor. I don't get that star factor or the appeal of celebrities as much as I used to. In the case of The Weeknd, when I think about his lyrics and the things he's saying, and I remember that he's probably pulling these things from his life, I'm definitely not excited by the idea of that, and I'm not excited by the idea of him. And don't get me wrong, I think these people are talented. The ability to write music, the ability to use your voice creatively, these things are cool. And people love art and people love experiencing creativity in the form of music, and I do too. I really appreciate it. But when you start seeing celebrities as just regular people who are talented, and you stop seeing them as these godlike, larger than life creatures, you don't get as excited as you used to. And I think I've hit that point. I think what really drove this home for me was this year I've been to two concerts, Tame Impala and The Neighborhood. I really loved Tame Impala. I had such a good time. The Neighborhood, didn't love it. Regardless of how I felt about those two shows, something that I took away from the shows was the fact that I wasn't starstruck. I wasn't overly excited or fanned out. And I just kind of saw these people as regular people doing a job. A job that I found cool and a job that brings me entertainment or joy or inspiration. Kind of looked at them how I'd look at any regular person working a job that adds something to my life. So, how I look at farmers who provide my food, or our amazing postal workers who send packages all over the world, or as people at grocery stores, or cleaners, or security, or teachers, or doctors. All these people do jobs that add to life. And I don't think that being in the public eye necessarily makes you a more interesting human being or a cooler human being than anyone else just doing a job that is also cool and also adds to life. So this gap between celebrity and everyone else, or celebrity and the masses, the normals, the basics, I think it's weird, and I don't subscribe to that anymore. I think kids are susceptible to falling for the pizzazz around celebrity. I think the older you get, the more detached you get to this idea of being obsessed with celebrities. In the process of figuring out whether I wanted to go to the concert or not, I was just looking up videos online of the shows that had been done at other venues, and just seeing the fan behavior put me off instantly. I get so irked by that behavior when you watch videos of people screaming for no reason into someone's face because they make amazing music. Do we need to be doing that? Probably not. Or I call it the zombie look, where you go to a concert and every single person is just tunnel vision locked into the artist that they lose sight of everything else around them. And it's almost as if they're not really taking the whole experience in. They're just completely zombified, completely snatched. Snatched by this celebrity that's in front of them. Their brain snatched by this. When I'm at concerts, I love to just interact with the space fully. So I like to look at people around me and feed off of their energy, also focus on the show, and just have a good time. I'm not foaming at the mouth because the celebrity's there. I'm not overly attached to the experience of a celebrity. It's just a chill experience for me. I feel calm. I don't feel much adrenaline from the experience. Up to the day before the concert, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to go or not, and I just couldn't make a decision because I just didn't feel excited enough to go. So I told myself, look, you're not excited to do this. Clearly, you don't want to go. So I decided to stay home. And I had a chill weekend alone in my room. And that was it. I was telling myself that the concert would have been a nice opportunity to socialize or just be around people. Realistically, I know that that was wishful thinking. Whenever you go to social events with huge crowds, people are typically in their group. They're not looking to talk to random people who are not in their group. That's something that I've noticed. So I wouldn't say that a concert is a good place to socialize. I know it's possible to talk to people before the show starts and make friends, but I don't think it's a good way to socialize. So I was telling myself maybe I should do something else, like go to a bar or something. But I ended up doing nothing. I just stayed in and it was fine. I think moving forward, if I have to go to any events that involves celebrities, I know that I wouldn't be overly fanned out or overly excited. They're just a person doing their job. Something else I think is bizarre is fan behavior online, especially in comment sections. You see these people passionately commenting on lives of celebrities, and you're just thinking all this stuff is going into the void. The celebrity isn't interacting back with them. They're pretty much just being ignored. And in their minds, in some of these people's minds, they're connecting with the celebrity. I find that so bizarre. I think some celebrities kind of break out from this whole model by actually interacting with people who support them online. A good example of this is SZA. She'll actually talk to people in comment sections. She actually interacts on social media. She just acts like a regular person who's talented, who doesn't try to be elitist or try to think that she's too cool to interact with the masses. I think another example of this is Zara Larsson. She just seems like your girl next door, very chill, very down to earth artist who is very talented, has an amazing voice, doesn't try to act like some different species who is above regular people, when at the end of the day they're literally a regular person. I think I just see celebrities how I would see any other person I interact with or know of in my personal life, and I treat them accordingly. So if a celebrity does something I would frown at, if a regular person in my life did the same thing, I would treat them exactly how I would treat the regular person in my life. Being a celebrity, being in the public eye, being talented does not mean you're exempted from judgment by people. Doesn't mean that you're above the law. It doesn't mean you're above being human. Doesn't mean you should be given special treatment. Yeah, the mystique is lifting. The fog is lifting, and I've seen a lot of things more clearly in my life. A lot of things which are just distractions. I made a video about that. It's called The World Cup is a Scam, I think. And I was talking about how many things are distractions. And I think I mentioned celebrities. They are. A lot of them are just distractions. Anyway, I think I covered everything. And I successfully went through the whole video without saying like too many times, which is good. Thank you so much for watching, and please like the video and subscribe for more. I love you so much. I know you can barely see me, it's so dark. Bye bye.